So amidst all these exposes happening in the internet, you might find yourself drowning into Chinese propaganda, or maybe they're right. Who knows? Let's take a look at this debate.
These are two baskets of Hermes. If I don't show you the logo, how can you tell which is from the boutique and which is from my factory? Don't worry, let me show you some details now. This bag has this double stitching, also has this double stitching. And the interior, suede. This interior, suede too. And here, on this strap, there is signature of artisan who made this bag. There is also signature of artisans. So, now, can you tell which is from boutique and which is from my factory? Let me tell you, now is the moment of truth. This is from the boutique, and this is from my factory. This costs 600 USD, and this only costs less than 1/10 of it. Are you interested? Just contact me.
Hermes has built in villages and towns all over France. This is one of them, in Tourne, a 3-hour drive from Paris in the French countryside. The workshop is quiet. There is no jamming of sewing machines, just artisans performing a silent dance with dueling needles.
Hermes have finally spoken out on everything going on with manufacturers from China after their products have gone viral. In the last few days, loads of viral TikToks have popped up showing people claiming they make items for brands like Lululemon and Louis Vuitton. These people are offering to sell these products for super low prices. One video shows a man standing on a factory floor saying that Louis Vuitton sources all of their products and even their materials from China.
So Hermes has done an interview, and they took journalists to see their factory where they make the bags, and the factory has 10 people in them, in this factory where they make all their Hermes bags. It's 10 people, and they were saying that the artisans take about 3 years to make a bag. So basically all their bags are being made by 10 people. Like, come on. I mean, come on. We were not born yesterday. Those 10 people are making all your bags that you sell worldwide, and it takes them like months to finish a bag. And you're telling me that these secret factories that suddenly just appeared in France, where there was no stitching, there was no machines, they were just hammering something. Like, how can you make these bags without even machinery or whatever with just 10 people? There's nothing suspicious about the whole thing at all.
Hermes and Oscar de la Renta. You guys, it's time to show off your factories. No, I don't want to wait to go on YouTube and watch a beautiful documentary on. Show them off right here on TikTok. Let the world see. Okay, get like China. You got to be ghetto about it. Just let people know. I just saw a video of a guy who was saying that in China, the hardware is created for those Hermes bags, okay? But the actual leather originates from Africa. I believe Nigeria is the country. Let's see what's up. This is what TikTok's about. It's just like we're in our bathrooms, we're in our bedrooms, and we're just talking. And we're just showing. We're just, look at my plant. In my bathroom. No documentary, just show us. Be a little ghetto. It's okay. It's okay. We're not here to judge.
I don't know who needs to hear this. Hermes bags are not made in China, just like that link that you got in your text messages that says they tried to arrange a delivery and it's asking you to click on it. It's not legit. This is tale as old as time, you guys, and I can tell you one thing for sure: Hermes bags are handmade in a factory. I've been to actually one of their factories just outside of Paris. I'll insert some pictures here. If you prefer to believe that they are made in China, I think you should just spend your money wisely. Take a pinch of salt when it comes to anything that you see on internet. The bags were sold in China before this, after this. Everybody knows it. I know that this platform specifically loves goods that are not authentic. No problem. Do whatever you want to do with your money. I'm just doing this TikTok because I don't want people misinformed thinking they're buying something that's authentic and it's not. It is a fact that obviously some companies still produce in China, even luxury ones. Hermes is not one of them, so I'll just leave it here.
Where is this iconic luxury bag made? Let's talk about it. Okay, with the latest tariff war with China, China has come out to say that 90% of luxury bags is made in China. China has not specifically called out Hermes, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, etc., but they have made videos showing this iconic luxury bag. Now, Hermes is one of the most expensive luxury bag. The brand alone is a $2 billion brand. Okay, in December 2024, 60 Minutes did an Hermes piece. Now, let me tell you what it stated. Okay, in the video, it stated that it takes years to be offered a bag. In the video, Pierre-Alex Dumont, the artistic director, says there is a difference between expensive bag and a costly bag, and we'll get into it. In the 60-minute video, Pierre-Alexis Dumont, the artistic director of Hermes, states that Hermes is a costly bag, okay, and not an expensive one. And here is the difference between a costly bag and an expensive bag, okay? A costly bag is a well-crafted, handmade, start-to-finish bag, whereas an expensive bag is a product that is supposed to deliver, and you pay a large amount of money, and it turns out to be crap. Okay, in 2021, the house, meaning Hermes, opened up a leather training workshop, and there are 400 graduates a year. Hermes states that they have 23 locations in France that make a bag from start to finish. It takes 20 hours to make a Kelly bag, which is one of the hardest bags to make. The handle alone takes 4 hours to make, okay? There is no cheat sheet. There is no manual. Every single artisan has to rely on their training and memory to make every single bag. Now, they also state that every artisan has their own personal stamp that can be traced back to them, but it is a secret where the placement on the bag that tells you what artisan makes the bag. It's also a secret with how many bags that Hermes produces in a year. This leads us to beg the question, is China part of Hermes' secret? You decide for yourself.
This is me standing corrected. Thank you for this. I think when I started my rant, Hermes is just one of those top luxury brands, and it just popped into my head and then became the focal point. But this has been brought to my attention. I have done some research, and yeah, you will never catch me standing on business when I'm wrong. So there we go, everybody. Just so we know, I've checked it out. This is legit. Anyway, I do stand by what I said about so many luxury brands having their goods made in places like Bangladesh, which really, if you want to talk about human rights and how deplorably people are treated, you really need to look at things like Rana Plaza and where places like Versace and Gucci were having their items made alongside, you know, very, very cheap brands, and then selling them for ridiculous prices and not caring about the welfare of people. Yeah, but as for Hermes, I take it back. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Anyway, thanks for bringing this to my attention.
Baby. Hermes bags are made in France, and you are falling for Chinese propaganda right now. Are there other luxury brands who get their their leather in Nigeria and then assemble most of the product through cheap labor in China and then slap a label on it in Europe? Absolutely, yes. But Hermes is not that brand. This is the problem. We have one brand that stands in for luxury, but it is not a brand that operates like other luxury houses do these days. Hermes is a heritage brand. 65% ownership still goes to the family. They're not beholden to a board of directors in the same way. It is not a publicly traded company. Hermes makes artisanal decisions because it has chosen to still function that way, and it is like intrinsic to the branding. Before the pandemic, you couldn't buy anything from Hermes online. There was no online Hermes boutique. You want to hate designer fashion. You want to hate the absurd, outrageous markup of luxury. I totally understand that you need to find any other brand, because the one singular example everybody goes to is the one example that actually exists as an exception. The fact that Hermes has so much success and does so well and does not behave like LVMH or any of the brand subsidiaries under that is fascinating and something that you should pay attention to. But you hate Hermes because it's the only luxury brand you know about. And so you seek out confirmation bias, which makes you susceptible to misinformation.
Okay, let's address the Chinese TikTok viral videos, shall we? So first things first, absolutely can see everybody's glee in believing that Hermes is produced in China. And yes, some bags that look like Hermes are produced in China. And when I say look like, I mean these people are creating the fakes. The factories that the guy stood in front of and all the stock that he stood in front of is clearly fake. And anybody who knows anything about Hermes can see that the bags are fake. People who don't know about the brand obviously are going to believe what's being said. However, he's very vague in what he says. He's talking about the production of making a bag that looks like an Hermes bag. He's not saying it is an Hermes bag because he knows, as well as everybody else does who knows about Hermes, that Hermes is made in France. And they have, between different articles say different things, but 19 and 56 factories across 11 locations in France. They even have training facilities in Australia and in a couple of other places in the world. So although China is now fighting back, as they should, why should they not? Let's not forget that there are some amazing products that come out of China. There are absolutely amazing products that come out of China, and the stigma that's always been attached to, oh, I hope it's not Chinese, is actually really disgusting, because they are at the forefront of production. And why should they be, looked down on because they know how to produce things efficiently? They shouldn't. Some of the products that come out of China are absolutely amazing. However, they are not Hermes bags. And whilst he's talking about some high-end luxury brands produce their products in China, it gets shipped to Europe, and then the stamps are put on them, he doesn't mention Hermes. He actually doesn't mention any brands. He says brands like. So he's not saying, this is where it's so important to know the English language, the nuances of the English language, and to understand it fully, because English was my forte. And I pick up on the tiniest little detail that other people miss out on. So all it takes is for him to say one word for him not to get sued.
I took the Hermes experts' advices and visited the Hermes China factory because people didn't want to see me get ripped off by going to the real Hermes boutique. We spotted this new men's backpack in canvas. The interior is all leather lining. They just finished making this backpack. You can get it for $12. This appointment was for hubby to come in for his second fitting for his made-to-measure suit. This is the jade suit that I had mentioned earlier. It is made from the stone jade. The color is like a dark green, but in different lighting, you will see gray. It's got a green undertone, very subtle and very neutral as well. The lining is made with 2 Hermes scarves. We chose this color because it has green and blue. The scarves were $2 each. Then he chose these silver buttons to go with it. It turned out really nice because the green and blue are cool tone, so it matches the silver button really well. Look at the gorgeous detail. China did a really good job. Each button is 50 cents, so for 8 total, it was $4. The 2 scarves are in a size 90 centimeter. The name is Les Frios Les Faubourg, I might be saying that wrong, in blue electric, and I'm not sure about the green color. If you're interested in making this suit, it is $12. Then I looked into some flatware because I needed to replace mine, and each of these are $1. And look at these beautiful nail polish and lip liner set. Each of these are $12. Another reason for the visit was to pick up my bag that my SA offered me. It's only $12. What a steal. Then we found that Hermes has these new speakers. It is made with genuine leather and canvas. Can you see how beautiful this is? Also, it can get really loud. They turned up the music and it was like a club at the boutique. At the factory.
While Hermes might have a point that they are a cost brand and not an expensive brand, we cannot negate the fact that products are produced in Africa and then they are manufactured or they are assembled in China, and then part of the production process goes to France or whichever country they reside in. Because if they did all these processes in that country, it would be virtually impossible given the state of the economy. I'm talking about physical policies in terms of taxes. It wouldn't be possible. Guys, what do you think in the comment section? Do you think Hermes is manufactured in France, or do you think it's made in China? And also, what do you think about the 60 Minutes documentary, 10 laborers in a factory? Sounds suspicious to me.